Hey guys, and welcome to the 1.51 dev server in War Thunder. There are a lot of new planes, new maps, and just new content that has been added to the game, but this video is going to be specifically focusing on the new vehicles that have been added, both planes and ground forces. So the first thing that I noticed when I got on the dev server was that they're using an earlier state of accounts where vehicles that I already had unlocked were locked again, and I also had 50,000 golden eagles. Now, I'm not sure if they gave everyone this amount of golden eagles or if it's just because my account was rolled back and it just added up to that amount of golden eagles that I've spent since then. But we're gonna get started with the American aircraft first. They got two new planes, the A36 and the SB2C1C, and two updated models, the F2A3 and the F2A1. One observation that I made was the P51 Mustang with the 4 Hispanos has been nerfed to a battle rating of 3.7. This new A36 comes out in the bomber lineup, which is a bit strange, and it has 6 12.7 machine guns, and it's coming in at a battle rating of 2.7. Unfortunately, there's no weaponry to see at the moment, but I have a feeling that that's going to be updated in the near future. Otherwise, its flight model is exactly the same as the lower tier Mustang, the other one with the Hispanos. The SB2C1C comes out at a battle rating of 3.0. It has two 20mm cannons, and again, can't really see what it has in terms of weaponry because it doesn't look like it's actually been updated. With the new models, the F2A3 Buffalo looks very short and stubby. Indeed. But another nice feature that I noticed is that you can now access your crew info just by pressing the tab that's located next to the vehicle info. Another change that I noticed was that the new F2A1 Buffalo has now 3 12.7s, whereas our current version, it only has 1 12.7. That's insane. 3 12.7s at a battle rating of 1.3. The Germans get one new aircraft, the Dornier 17E1. They get two new models, the Bf109E1 and the Bf109E3, and also the premium IL-2. Captured. The premium IL-2 costs only 850 golden eagles. That is damn cheap. It comes armed with two 23mm cannons and also 7.52 machine guns. However, this is going to be a maxed out plane and that flight performance looks really weak. Chances are, I have a feeling it's going to be low altitude all the time. The Bf109E1 and the E3 have new models, and as you can tell, they have a kind of like shorter, stubbier nose at the front. Makes it a little bit funny looking. And the new Dornier is one of the first bombers that you can research in the German line, and it consists of a 7.92 machine gun at the front with two turrets, one on the top side and one on the belly. Now, as you can notice, that machine gun is going right through that front window right there. That looks absolutely sick. You can even see the drum barrels that holds all the ammunition. It doesn't have an amazing bomb capacity. In fact, it can only hold 20 50-kilo bombs or two 250-kilo bombs. The Russians get two new aircraft, but they are both premiums, the Hurricane Mark IIB and the Yak-3 VK-107, and they also get a new model for the IL-2M Type 3. So the new Hurricane is dirt cheap at only 700 golden eagles, tier 2 with a battle rating of 2.3. What's really nice about it is that it has two 20mm cannons and two 12.7s, and it can also be armed with rockets. This thing is going to be an absolute beast because if it has the flight performances of any other Hurricane and mixed in with that gunpowder, oh man, it's going to be really, really good. And next up is that new Yak-3 at 4,800 golden eagles. That is going to be very expensive, and it looks like relatively a no thrills kind of plane. Only two 20mm cannons on it. Flight performances looks about average for a 5.3 battle rating plane. It really does seem like a no thrills premium. 4,800 golden eagles. Damn. It doesn't even get any other secondaries on it either as well. For the British, we get two new planes, the Hurricane Mark IV and the Firebrand TF Mark IV. Holy derp, the new Hurricane at battle rating of 2.3, tier 2, has two 40mm cannons on it. Is this going to be a game changer, or is it going to be like a lot of other instances previously where these larger caliber guns are actually more for the bling than effectiveness of shooting down planes? At a battle rating of 4.7 at tier 3, we have that new Firebrand, and it's a very large plane, like a lot of the other planes of the Fleet Air Arm around this tier. Its flight performances look really damn good, seeing that rate of climb and also that maximum speed. And also all those cannons, that stopping power. But if it's anything like its brothers and sisters in the Fleet Air Arm, I'm kind of a little bit worried in terms of the flight performance. And if you really want to go Rambo, there are plenty of secondary weapons, torpedoes, rockets, bombs, and even combinations of them. The Japanese get a little bit of love this time. They get 3 new aircraft, the J-2M5, the J-2M5 Premium, and also the Kai-44. So the Kai-44 on paper looks absolutely insane at a battle rating of 2.3, rank 2. Look at that climb rate, 23.6. Holy damn. And that's not even upgraded. Now the question is, will it actually translate to this in actual combat? That's something I'm going to test out later though. The J-2M5 is snuck away with the J-2M3 over here with a battle rating of 5.3. It has a multitude of cannons to work with, so plenty of firepower, and I imagine this plane is going to be a lot like a boom and zoomer, like the J-2M3. And although on paper it says its rate of climb is very, very low, I really don't think it's that bad from my initial testing of it. Likewise, the J-2M5 over here, the Premium, just essentially the same thing, but you get 30mm cannons instead of those 20s. I'm not sure if that's going to be a good justification to use the 30s because you only have 84 rounds on it. Oh boy, gotta be very conservative. Now onto ground forces, the Americans get 2 new vehicles, the M60 and the M18 Super Hellcat Premium. So the new M60 comes out at the end of the line for the Americans at a battle rating of 7.7 tier 5, and it looks like a very beefy tank, strong armaments, and also tons of armor to work with. I imagine that it's going to be near nigh impossible to penetrate this tank from the front unless you've got dedicated armor-piercing rounds that are doing huge amounts of penetration. That belly is going to be near nigh impossible to penetrate with about 330-ish millimeters of thickness. That's absolutely insane. You're really going to have to try to work around getting to the backside of this tank. But in terms of its rounds, you'll notice that it has these squash shells, and I've seen some people talking about it on the forums. They say that it's already pretty much useless. It's supposed to negate bounces or something like that, but unfortunately people are saying that it's not really doing anything. But it also has high explosive anti-tank fin stabilized shells with up to 400mm of penetration. Holy shit. For 7,480 golden eagles, you can be the proud new owner of a Super Hellcat, which already kind of, to me, looks like it's dead before it's even gotten out of the garage. Because at a battle rating of 6.3 and just what it's capable of doing, that means you're going to be seeing stuff like Ferdinands, and you're just not going to have the penetration to actually take out the Ferdinand unless you're aiming specifically for weak spots. This tank is a glass cannon, but look at the rounds. The APCBC only doing up to 165mm of penetration, but those armor-piercing rounds doing a whole lot more, so you might be relying on those armor-piercing rounds. The Germans get 3 new vehicles, the Panzer 35T, a brand new spanking reserve vehicle. They get the NBFZ-6. Oh boy, here comes my pronunciation. The Neubufahrzeug, something like that. I'm just going to call it an NBFZ, alright? And they also get the Leopard 1. So the new Panzer 35T looks like a very competent reserve tank, having decent armor, decent speed, and also very nice rounds to have at a battle rating of 1.0, meaning that you should be able to easily penetrate enemies, and because it also has high explosive, means you can do a lot of damage to your opponents. For 1,750 golden eagles, you can be the owner of a tier 1 premium vehicle. That's right, a tier 1 premium vehicle. It seems like whenever Gaijin introduces ridiculous vehicles into the game, they love to hike up the price. It has 2 cannons, the 75 and the 37, and also 3 7.92mm machine guns. However, I don't think this tank is going to be particularly amazing because there are plenty of vehicles that can easily penetrate the 20 or so millimeters of armor on the front. Its main feature is the fact that it has 2 cannons to work with. And at the end of the line for the Germans is the Leopard 1, which is a medium tank, so that means that it gets artillery support. And because it's a medium tank, it has good speed, but it sacrifices armor. And holy damn, does it have a gigantic ammo rack situated on the left-hand side, right at the front. that thing is gonna be just asking to be shot. If anyone aims into the belly, I imagine that this tank is gonna be ammo racked a lot of times. The Russians get 4 new vehicles. They get the T-26-4, the SU-100Y Premium, the T-34-100 Premium, and the T-10M. So starting off the T-26-4, it looks like a very derpy tank with a face that you can see on the front of the turret, but don't be taken in by its cuteness. It has a formidable 76mm cannon. However, I say formidable lightly because its rounds don't do a lot of penetration. They only go up to around the late 30s. So I imagine that you might be using high explosive on this tank, if anything. Given it's at battle rating of 1.3, I think that high explosive should be relatively effective. But otherwise, the tank has hardly any crew within it and very light armor, and so it should be very easy to be killed off. For 3,850 golden eagles, you can buy the SU-100Y. And man, for some reason, I just get nostalgic moments of World of Tanks when I look at this, because I owned one of these in World of Tanks, and well, now it's here in War Thunder. How awesome. But it is a very powerful vehicle in terms of its cannon. As you can see, it's pretty much built around that cannon. The thing to notice is that it looks like a tank that has a lot of armor on it, but it's not. It doesn't have a lot of armor, and so essentially it is a glass cannon capable of dealing huge amounts of damage, but not capable of taking a lot. The T-34-100 costs 4,880 golden eagles, and it's essentially, well, a T-34 with a 100mm cannon stuck on it. One thing to notice is that it comes out at a battle rating of 6.0, and its armor is very underwhelming for 6.0. So this will die very quickly. It is a medium vehicle though, so you should be trying to use some mobility to work around your opponents. But it has very powerful rounds to work with. Should be able to take on enemy vehicles, whatever the battle rating, whatever the tier, pretty damn effectively. And the new late game heavy tank, the T-10M, looks like it's gonna be a formidable opponent to take on. Definitely a fast kind of looking tank, 51 kilometers per hour, 625 horsepower. It looks like it's gonna be relying a lot on trying to bounce enemy shots, just given the shape and the curvature of its armor and the slopes and the angling. It seems like it's going to be trying to rely on ricochets most of the time. Its AP-CBC rounds, though, go up to 250mm of armor penetration, which seems a little bit low. So that is it for all the vehicles that is going to be released in 1.51, at least the ones that they've shown so far. In the next video, I'm going to be showing you the new map, Finland, but also talking about the other map that might potentially come out, Stalingrad. And I'm also going to be taking out some vehicles, the ones I've showed you, some of them, into some actual test battles and see what they're actually like. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and until the next video, this is Krebs, and I'll see you dudes next time.
Here we go. Now we blasting off into the ozone. The way we kick it in the dojo is local for show, though we paving the road that's opposed to the dodo. Mr. Captain, yeah, I'm an ace pilot.